Good morning. This is Sheshachalam from Astroguide myself. So today let us do some comparison of professions. So this will make us understand as to why this person took up a profession. As you know, he is a politician from many years, and why this person became a cop. He is a commissioner of police. So not from many years, but he is into that profession from many years. So he has joined as a top grade of a cop, and then from there now he is the commissioner. He is somewhere, I think he is the deputy commissioner. So okay, so let us understand, if he is in police and he is a politician, why both of them are into governmental service and both are into service. The main important point is that both are into service related to the government. So service means sixth. Related to the government means sun. We'll take it in the basics. The class is very clear. Basics. I am not going into the divisional charts. I am not going into the dasha bhuktis in detail. I am not going into the atma karaka, amatya karaka, yogi, avayogi, ashtaka varga, shadbalas, bhava balas, nothing. I am just going into whether this is a D1 chart and the bhava chart. Yes, this is the D1 chart and this is also the bhava chart, because no change is there in the bhavas. So this is D1 and bhava for both. So one should not have any doubts that in the bhava chart it might change. No, it will not change. It's in the same position. So service means the sixth house. Government means sun. Let us take it to the basics. And then aggressiveness, boldness, courage, valor, all this is required if you have to be either a politician or a cop. You need to have this aggressiveness, the motivation, whatever happens, because for both of them will be encountering extreme challenges in life. A politician will encounter a lot of people who are against him, political enemies who want to pull his leg. They will defame him in every step. They will tell whatever he has done is wrong. So he needs to take that all inside, digest it, and again come up in life and still serve. So same thing happens for a cop. He encounters a lot of challenges with bureaucracy, with politicians, with people around him. With all that, he still has to go through the stress, come out of the stress, or endure the stress and work. So, sixth house, sixth lord, sun, and of course, we need to see the 10th. We need to see the third house. So the 10th house for profession or karma, or what type of an action a person would take. Third house for valor, courage, actions, etc. Bahubala, Bhujabala, whatever. There's a lot of, hundreds of significations. So I will be giving out the most important for this talk. I'm not going into communication, music, speech, acting, expressions. I'm not going into all that now. So that's also third house. But I'm going into the most important, relevant to the topic. Okay. So the points which are important, what I have written here is the Lagna Lord, the dispositor of the Lagna Lord. So let us make a point here. The Lagna Lord, the dispositor of Lagna Lord. Next, third Lord, sixth Lord, and 10th Lord. Third, sixth, and 10th. Why 3, 6, 10? Once again, I have been stressing a lot on the Upachaya Sthana Adhipatis and the Upachaya Sthana. And why I have not gone into the 11th house? Because this is the only house in the whole of anybody's horoscope which does not want to work. It does not want to do any physical action. It is opposite to the third house. That is what in Jaimini Sutras is known as the Argala. So it is opposite to the third house. Like for example, if this is the third house, this is the 11th house. Sorry, this is the 11th house, this is the third house. The 11th is opposite to the third house. It does not want the third house to work. So if many planets are in the 11th house and there are no planets in the third house, the person can become a sannyasi. That is how the sannyasi yoga has come up. So there is a system. This is the first, this is the second and the 12th, this is third and the 11th, this is the 4th and the 10th, this is the 5th and the 9th, this is the 6th and the 8th, and this is the 7th. This is a beautiful technique. I will take up this chapter of Jaimini in exclusively. I will take up this diagram and I will have a detailed class on this, because this needs a lot of working. I need to work out first. I need to keep all the charts ready. I need to have the examples ready, and then I have to do it. But for today, the third house is actions, physical. Here it is action, mental, all in the mind, not in the kind. So this is wealth, this is expenditure. So let me not go into the whole thing. So why I have taken up this particular thing, why I am trying to teach you this is, if third house is physical action, it is one of the upachayas which shows growth. The 6th house is service. The 10th house is action, that is karma, that is deeds, the profession itself. The 11th house is the profit, what you get out of 3, 6, 11. 3, 6, 10. So what is the output you get from 3, 6, 10 is 11. So let us not talk about 11 as on date. So we'll leave it. So let us first see the formula what I have given. The formula what I have given here to find out whether what a person would want to do in life is to see the Lagna Lord. The Lagna Lord here is Mars. And Mars is retrograde in the chart. I have peculiarly and particularly chosen 2 charts where Mars is retrograde. So you will understand how Mars behaves, and with whom he sits and how he behaves is very important. So Mars is the Ascendant Lord and it is positioned in the 6th house. So Ascendant Lord, very important, and where it is posited? In the 6th house. In the 6th house. So there is a link between the Ascendant Lord and the 6th house. The dispositor of the Ascendant Lord, very, very important to understand this particular point as to what a person would want to be, where he would be comfortable, where he would want to be and situated, whether he is intelligent, whether he is dull, whether he is careless, whether he is extremely careful, sensitive, anxiety prone, whether he is strong physically, whether he can trek or he cannot. Anything can be said. This is one part of the physical and mental direction which the Ascendant Lord's Science Lord, that is the dispositor of the Ascendant Lord, will show. So here the Ascendant Lord is posited in Virgo and the Lord of Virgo is Mercury, and it has formed a Buddha Aditya Yoga in the 2nd house. Buddha Aditya Yoga in the 2nd house, and with whom has he done it? With Sun. So you can see that I am circling all these points which are very important. The third Lord or the 3rd house is falling in Gemini, and the 3rd Lord is again Buddha, and he has again formed another Buddha Aditya Yoga, the same Buddha Aditya Yoga in the 2nd house. So the 3rd Lord is along with a valorous planet, a courageous planet, a planet which will never shy. That is Sun. Mercury by itself has a lot of shyness, timid, and a very fearful, God-loving planet, very religious, and all these people who are fearful and God-loving only are religious. No, not everybody are religious or fearful. If they are not fearful, they'll simply move ahead. They'll not have time for all this. So this person is very bold, but anyway, he has his traditions because of Jupiter, which is exalted. And why Jupiter exalted gives traditions here? Because it is the ninth lord in the fourth house. So again, we will not go into the ninth house and the fourth house now. So third house, well protected. The 10th lord is Saturn. 7, 8, 9, 10. Makarasthana, Makaradipati. Makaradipati is Saturn, which is the lord of Capricorn. It is positioned in the 12th house and it is aspecting Sun. It is aspecting Sun and it is aspecting the Ascendant Lord. So there is a connection between Sun and between Saturn and Sun and Saturn and the Ascendant Lord. So this whole thing is complete. So if you see the Dasha Bhaktis just on a glance, the person was born in the Rahu Dasha and by 28 he finished his Jupiter Dasha, by 47 he finished his Saturn Dasha and now he is going through Shukra Dasha. So beautiful Dasha pattern in which he is going through. It's a nice Dasha. So the biography of the family is that the whole family, it's not only him, he also has been multiple times MLA, his family also has been MLAs and they have been 6 times. 6 times, it's not a small number. 6 times. Take an average of 4 years. So it's around 25 years in politics. It's not a small thing to happen for any family. If somebody wants to be into politics, just imagine that these strengths have to be in the chart. And if it is not there, don't unnecessarily simply a dream, without the real effort will work. So let us go to the police officer now. Okay. Once again, we will use the same formula. The Ascendant Lord, the Lagnadipati, is Jupiter. The Ascendant Lord is Jupiter, and where is he posited? In the 12th house. When Jupiter is in the 12th house, one should understand that it aspects certain important houses. And the most important house it aspects, the highest aspect it aspects is the 8th house and the 6th house. The 8th house and the 6th house. The 8th Lord, Moon, is posited here. But why am I talking about the 8th Lord? It's not that important, so let us leave it there. So now we are very clear with regard to the Ascendant Lord and its dispositor. Anyway, it's aspecting Saturn, Saturn is in turn aspecting Jupiter, all that thing is there here. So, the dispositor of Jupiter is Mars. This is the game changer. So, Mars is retrograde and exalted in 2nd house. Here also the dispositor was in the 2nd house. Here the dispositor is in the 2nd house, but the relevance of the 2nd house is not important. Where Mars aspects and who is Mars aspected from, that's more important. And Mars is in the 2nd house along with another valorous, unfearful, courageous planet, a strong planet, Rahu. So, Mars from this particular position, I do not want any confusions or other deviations like a retrograde planet would be one step back, would see another house. All that let us leave it. Let us be in basics. So, as for the basic, Mars has 3 aspects: the 4th, the 7th and the 8th. So, the 4th, the 7th and the 8th. So, 8th house from Mars is the 9th house from the Ascendant. We can see that it is posited with a very strong Sun. So Mars aspects Sun. And who is he posited with? That Sun is posited with Mercury, which is the 10th lord. So there is a mutual conjunction. Once again, a Buddha Aditya Yoga has happened. So we have now complete Lagna Lord, dispositor of the Lagna Lord, and the 10th Lord. Now we have to touch the 3rd and the 6th Lord. So the 3rd Lord, Saturn, is placed in the 6th house, very well placed in Taurus. Saturn gets a lot of strength in that particular sign, and it is aspecting the Ascendant Lord. Saturn is the 3rd Lord, and it is aspecting the Ascendant Lord. So a lot of aspects are happening. Who is the 6th Lord? 6th Lord is Venus, because this is Taurus. The 6th Lord is Venus, and where is 6th Lord? 6th Lord is once again posited along with Sun. The link between Sun and the Upachaya Sthanadipatis is very important. And here it is the 3rd Lord, the 6th Lord, and Sun, who are all the Upachaya Sthanadipatis. The 3rd Lord is Saturn, Venus, and Sun. They are all, Sun is not Upachaya Sthanadipati. Saturn and Venus both are, influencing Sun and the Lagnadipati, and they are all Upachaya Sthanadipatis. We can also see that the 10th Lord, Mercury, is also Upachaya Sthanadipati, which is along with Sun. And anyway, the 11th house is very strong here. You have Venus once again sitting in the 11th, from the 11th in the 9th. 11th Lord in the 9th house gives lot of money, and it happens. Again, the 11th Lord here in the 12th house. So he has gained a lot of money, and he will spend it all also. So he is a person who does not hold everything with him. So it is not a regular MLA who simply acquires money. He keeps spending also. So lot of expenses are shown. So these are the two charts which I was thinking of explaining, and I would come ahead with many more different comparisons of charts. And why did Mars being retrograde in this chart make a person, which is a Lagnadipati, a politician, is because of a fantastic aspect of Saturn over it, and many other positions like the dispositor's influence. The dispositor's influence is very important. Not only where the Lord is posited. Like for example, like if we have to see whether there is a strength in the progeny of a chart, then we see the dispositor of the 5th Lord. So 5th house is, let us say in this case, the 5th house is Leo, and Leo, that is the Lord is Sun, and it is placed in Taurus, and the dispositor of Taurus is Venus. Venus is placed in the 3rd house, and it's a female planet, and no negative aspects are there on Venus. So this person has daughters. Just giving you a hint. So this person has daughters, not only daughters, only daughters. And here, the 5th Lord is Mars, and people simply, go into fear. When they see a chart like this, they'll tell, wow, this person is having Sarpadosh. Where is the child? Just see this combination. You go through that video which I have done on Sarpadosha, you will understand. If Mars and Rahu in the 2nd or in the 5th house, and Mars in the 2nd house aspecting the 5th, because it aspects, but here it is its own house, and it is retrograde. So that is what is very important. It is retrograde. But anyway, let us come to the retrogression of Mars in depth later on. So this particular position, the 5th Lord is placed in Makara, that is Capricorn, and the dispositor of Capricorn is Saturn, and it is very well placed. Very well placed, and is aspected by Putra Karaka Jupiter. This person has sons, no daughters, only sons. So, lot of sons here, daughters here. So you should understand and why it has happened like that. I have given you a basic relevance. I am not giving you, trying to push you into the depths of Saptamsha. I am not asking you to go to the Bijasputa, Kshetrasputa and all those things. Just by seeing the D1 chart, one should be able to understand the promise of the D1 chart, and only then he should proceed into the divisional charts. People I have seen nowadays, students simply jump into too many things. Be perfect in one thing first. Let you become perfect in the D1 chart. Then go into the Navamsha chart. Then go to the Bhava chart. Then do the correlation. Then only after that you should go to the Hora, Drakana, Chaturtamsha, Panchamamsha, Saptamsha, Dashamsha, Navamsha. Navamsha is anyway done. Dashamsha, Dvadashamsha, Shodashamsha. After Shodashamsha, I don't know why people simply go and ask me question. Mercury is in D60 chart. Can I wear an emerald? How can anybody answer that? I don't know. People, but anyway, I have seen people giving detailed answers on Mercury in D60. Shashtiyamsha. Anyway, I don't know. People are very brainy and brilliant. I am a little critical and sarcastic today, but still, I feel that it happens when I sit on answering on many of the forums. I feel why people are answering these questions. Suddenly somebody asks that if Mercury is Dhara Karaka, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Or something will happen. We don't know. Because simple one question like Mercury is Dhara Karaka, what will happen? How can anybody answer that question? Like if somebody asks only this, if the Putra Sthanadipati, that is the fifth lord, is associated with Rahu, will I not have children? If this is the question. This person has 3 children, 3 sons. Where is the infertility factor here at all? No. Very fertile, very healthy, a strong man. He is a commissioner. He is very strong. A young, solid character. Where is the deficiency? So people simply should not jump into unnecessary conclusions, seeing a horoscope and making only 1 or 2 calculations and thinking that that's the final. No, you have to go through in depth of an horoscope to understand really if there is a potential or not. So thank you very much for today's class, and I hope I have covered some complex things in the basic level, but this is basic level. Whatever I have told you today is extremely basic. When we go to the complex details in depth, the whole board will be, there will be only one chart, but the whole board will have calculations. Thank you very much for today.